Hello, I'm April Fralking. It's my pleasure to bring you the best of hometown life every week. Coming up later in the program, we have the new comedy segment, Skeezicks, hosted by Jerry Fushianes, and we are headed over to JJ's Floral for some amazing Valentine gift ideas. Our first guest is probably one of the hardest working young men I know, and he recently completed the Wisconsin Senate Scholar Program for the 17th District. So please welcome to our program, Mr. Connor Hartje. Connor, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and you are a junior at the Mauston High School.
Yes, I am.
So the Senate Scholar Program, tell us, how did you get involved and what is it?
So my true story comes all the way back from middle school. I was originally a member of the Wisconsin Association of School Councils, and from there everything took off. I met Representative Tony Kurtz, who represents the 17th District, especially Juneau County, and I met him at one of the programs, and our relationship stuck through since then. And I got a call from Representative Kurtz to apply for the Senate Scholar Program. So I applied, and I was luckily accepted.
I heard it's a pretty rigorous program to apply, just to get in. And so, like, what are some things that you had to do to just get into it?
So the hardest part for me was the exam. I think it was like 50 questions. It was the hardest exam I've taken in my life. We had to write a paper on the 5 bureaus that work for the legislature, and the cover letter, a resume, and you had to have sponsorship from your senator, your school principal, and your parents, and you had to have 2 recommendation letters.
Oh, so that's pretty rigorous.
Yeah.
And how many, do you remember the number, I don't know if you offhand, of how many people were involved in the program when you were there?
Yeah, so there's 3 different parts. There's one in January, February, and March, and there's 11 in each program part, and 1 from every district. There's 33.
Okay.
There's 33 Senate districts.
And your experience from being in leadership as a middle school student all through, I know you were sat on the Office of School Safety even.
It was a pleasure, yeah.
At the state level. So you do have some pretty good leadership experience at the state level. So being at the Capitol in the legislature with Representative Kurtz and Howard Barkley, what are some takeaways or what are some things you learned while you were there?
My 2 biggest takeaways are relationships are crucial to a successful life. Having that relationship with Representative Kurtz beforehand, I think, helped me, and having relationships will truly help you in life. And then my second takeaway is that the government truly does care. People that serve have a bad rep sometimes, and they truly do care about their constituents, matters that are being presented to them, the bills that they write. Everything that they do it with care.
Were you able to sit in on any of the actually bills being passed?
I was.
Or some of that? How was that experience for you being right in the...
That was my favorite part. That was the most exciting. We were there from Sunday to Friday, and on Tuesday we acted as Senate messengers. They're called pages as well. And so we sat directly next to the senators and ran their errands for them, gave this bill to the different senator. It was amazing. That was the best part. And
you've been in some of those chambers before with your leadership experience with the Wisconsin School Counselors Student Council Association and
the WSCA.
Yes, and you were up there too with legislature with the school counselors also helping promote mental health for students and things like that. Are there any issues like right now for you having had that experience that you thought were really big topics right now going on in Wisconsin that you noticed that they were discussing?
Yeah, there was a couple big topics. One of them was correctional officers, the pay. They're having a really hard time with correctional officer pay level right now and getting people to work. So they just passed legislation that it increases their wage to $2 per hour more for this year. So,
okay, so that's a big
and there was a marijuana bill introduced by Senator Agard, and that I'm not sure the status of that bill, but that was also introduced. That was a huge topic as well.
Were you in both chambers, the Assembly and the Senate, or mostly just it's a Senate Scholar Program,
yeah,
so obviously you're
it's funded by the Senate, but we did also take a look in the Assembly room. We were in there for probably about an hour. We viewed everything that was going on and got to know some of our representatives as well.
When you, from your perspective as becoming a voting adult and moving on in your future, are there any issues you think that probably might be coming up more with maybe we've been through COVID, inflation, things like that.
I think the biggest things that are going to impact the future voters is how the economy is going to run. There's certain bills that affect the economy, such as the $2 raise for correctional institutions. So just those things are things that people need to take into consideration when they're voting.
Do you see yourself a future for you in the legislature? Tell us a little bit about your future, Connie. You're at the end of your high school experience here.
Yeah, so I'm currently working full-time at Culver's in Mauston. I'm loving it, and it's my dream to own a restaurant of my own. So I'd like to own a restaurant, and then possibly in the near future get into politics at some point. But right now my drive is towards Culver's, but it's also towards politics. So I love combining the two, because having a strong leader in a restaurant is crucial to your restaurant operations. So it just all ties together.
Really, it's almost like it sounds like leadership just flows in a lot of different places in your life. And you were also a part of, as in your beginning 8th grade, 9th grade, weren't you part of the junior parliamentarians? Were you president of that?
Yeah, I was one of the co-founders of the Wisconsin Junior Parliamentarians. That was exciting to start an organization and to get it on its foot, creating the Constitution, creating the budget. That was all exciting. So.
Were you able, when they did parliamentary procedure on the floor, were you able to connect into that and understand a little bit more what's going on? Or?
A little bit. Their rules are extreme. I mean, they're so quick with how they run the Senate, so I understand most of it, but it was very quick.
Yeah, so do you have a favorite part? Like, as we kind of wrap up here, do you have a favorite part or any comments about your experience?
Well, I think two of my favorite parts was being a messenger on the Senate floor, being directly next to your senator, seeing what goes on in the government. And then also we did take a tour of if you look up in the Capitol, if you look directly up, there's that mural on the top. We went all the way up there. It was a long staircase, but we went all the way up there, and I think that was fascinating, looking down and seeing how far up you are.
Yeah, to really be able to get into the Capitol building and really experience it.
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody that's been there to support me. Senator Markline for his sponsorship through the program, Representative Kurtz, Jim Dillon, the principal of Mauston High School, my parents, family, and friends, and of course you, April, for the support.
Yeah, well, thanks, Connor. Yeah, I was involved with you with a lot of the WAC, so congratulations, and it'll be great to see your future.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in. Well, catering for cast and crew has been provided by Strike Zone and Pizzone's in Tomah. Great food and fun for the whole family. Another business spotlight is next, but first, we want to thank our sponsors.
Hometown Life has been brought to you by Lynx Networks, Olson Chiropractic in Tomah, Moulter's Fresh Market, Jeff Holthaus with State Farm Insurance, Oakdale Credit Union.
It's been a long day.
Mom, what's for dinner? Yeah, I'm hungry.
I really don't feel like cooking, so...
The best pizza. Look at that crust and cheese. Amazing burgers and steaks. Just the way I like it. Food the whole family loves. That's our specialty. And don't forget, 12 lanes of bowling fun and a huge game room. Rain or shine, always a great time. Strike Zone and Pizzone's in Tomah.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
Moulter's family-owned store brings you fresh. Feel healthy with a wide selection of organic foods, gluten-free products, certified black Angus beef, and handmade brats. Moulter's has a great selection of meats, so choosing can be tough. Just ask our butcher to help you make the perfect selection. Moulter's brings you fresh-packed deli meals for those on the go. And of course, our fresh market. Download our mobile app and start saving money today. Moulter's brings you fresh.
Owning a small business is kind of a big deal. State Farm agents can help you find the right insurance coverage at the right price.
Call State Farm agent Jeff Holthaus in Tomah today.
We love being active and living life to the fullest, but life can sometimes have other plans. Do you suffer from neck and lower back pain, muscle aches, and poor mobility? Trust Olson Chiropractic to find you the right treatments that fit your needs, including the benefits of an alkaline lifestyle and healthy nutrition to help guide you to a better, more active life. Call Olson Chiropractic today, trusted in Toma for over 20 years.
On Hometown Life, we love to share businesses and the amazing people that keep them going. On this week's show, we are headed over to JJ Floral in Toma. Remember the guys, Valentine's Day is just right around the corner.
Come on in. Welcome to JJ's Floral Shop. I am so excited to do this spotlight on our small business. For 50 years, we've been providing the freshest quality fresh flowers, plants, permanent arrangements, and that's not all. But before I get to all the things that we have available, let me share a little story about how this floral shop started. Over 50 years ago, my dad decided he wanted the largest shoe store in western Wisconsin, and he decided to build it. He worked for a shoe company, and he would go out and audit other shoe stores. He came home from an audit, told my mom, I bought a floral shop. She looked at him and said, who are you going to get to run it? And that's when she decided she needed to take it over. She was crafty, creative, but she needed to go to school and she needed to get an education. So she went to American Floral Arts School while they were putting up this building. And they put shoe racks. This was all shoes, and her little floral shop was over here. She came back from school and they opened up that very weekend. And thankfully she met a lot of really nice people at school to help her get started. How about a little tour of what we've got available here at JJ's Floral? We've added gift items like jewelry. We have candles. April's coming. We even have umbrellas. We've got candy, of course our plants, permanent arrangements. We have the mixology candles, the art of cocktails and candles, which I like. So we've been doing weddings for over 51 years, and so the first wedding that I can find that my mom would have done was for Bob and Rosemary Sonnenberg, and couldn't have been for a nicer couple of people. We have a whole area set up here so we can sit down and go over your weddings, talk about what you want. We don't do packages because packages mean you can only pick from certain things. Sitting down and talking to our designers, it's free. We go over all what you've envisioned for your wedding. We have baby gift items. We've just started bringing in these cute little bears. They're little blankies for that first gift for mom and baby. Then sympathies. It's when we get to say goodbye to some of the most precious people in our lives. And we have a large selection of plaques, wind chimes, plant stakes, angels. For people who like to decorate out at the cemetery, we have that covered too. So today I'm going to be making a vase arrangement with a dozen flowers. I'm planning on doing 4 classes this year. I'm going to start out with making a vase or a simple vase arrangement like this. You can pick up flowers pretty much anywhere. My daughters both have learned from me how to arrange flowers. I have a daughter out in Pennsylvania. She quite often picks up some flowers, and when she takes them home, she doesn't just grab the bunch and shove it in there. She does what I just did here. I laid everything out and how I'm going to arrange it. When I teach these classes, this is going to be the first class I teach, because I think this is probably the one thing that most people want to know how to do. How can I put flowers in my own vase at home? So I started out putting my foliage in, and I've made kind of my base. And then I'm going to start adding some of my other flowers. I usually add them one at a time, one style of flower at a time. And you'll see that I'm stripping the foliages off the bottom. That's because you don't want a lot of foliage in the bottom of your vase to create bacteria, and bacteria kills flowers, so we don't want that. I actually did start out at 9 years old. I have pictures of me, and I would pick up the dead and spent flowers off the floor and make little arrangements out of them. And my mom had a friend named Jean Nielsen. They owned Arc Electric here in town. She put one of my bouquets into the cooler and sold it. And she said, Judy, if you don't put that girl to work, you're crazy. So I started out at about $1/4 an hour, because that was my dad's wage. And I have been doing it ever since. I will go step by step with you. You'll learn how to measure your flowers so they get the most water that they possibly can, because water is what keeps fresh cut flowers alive. And that's what we want, is we want them to survive. Now we have all these stems available for purchase here at the store. When we purchase flowers, I've been purchasing from the same wholesaler for a very long time. And what I like about them is that I can depend on their quality of their flowers. I know what they're doing with their flowers at the warehouse. And then I know that those flowers are going to hold up for me here at the store. I'm ready for spring, December 26th. So we're going to put some pussy willows in there. There we go. Now, the added little final touch is a little bow. Now, do you have to have a bow? No, you don't have to have a bow, but I like it, so I'm going to do it. The thing about flower arranging is it's very personal. And so that's why we like to get to know our customers and what they like. Voila, and done. So stay tuned to our Facebook and Instagram pages for the upcoming classes in March. There'll be a sign up, and I'll look forward to seeing you.
Skeezicks with Jerry Fushianes is next.
Hometown Life has been brought to you by Torkelson Funeral Home, Hardware Hank in New Lisbon, The Fun Company Game Room Store, The Little Cottage Home Decor, and more.
Owning a small business is kind of a big deal. State Farm agents can help you find the right insurance coverage at the right price.
Call State Farm agent Jeff Holthouse in Toma today.
Toma Health is dedicated to compassionate, quality care for our community.
To me, quality care means always going the extra mile. At Toma Health, we do the little things to make a big difference.
Our staff is taking extra precautions, like offering video visits, virus screening, social distancing, and rigorous disinfecting protocols. Due to extraordinary numbers of patients, please expect extra wait times. We appreciate your understanding and apologize for delays.
Toma Health, together in care.
What's the more in the Little Cottage Home Decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the Little Cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and more, New Lisbon. This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is a difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
It's been a long day.
Mom, what's for dinner? Yeah, I'm hungry.
I really don't feel like cooking, so...
Croissant!
The best pizza? Look at that crust and cheese. Amazing burgers and steaks, just the way I like it. Food the whole family loves. That's our specialty. And don't forget, 12 lanes of bowling fun and a huge game room. Rain or shine, always a great time. Strike Zone and Pizzone's in Toma.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Skeezicks. With the original rascal himself, Mr. Jerry Fushianes.
I'm just going to let that keep going. I love the sound of it. Welcome to Skeezicks. This is our first show. I'm glad you're tuning in. So our goal is going to be to try to make you smile, to try to make you enjoy a little bit more of our hometown life. So what I was thinking about recently was how we communicate, how we talk to people. And it dawned on me that that's changed so much over the years. Well, just a couple days ago, I was in a traffic jam over on Superior Avenue. So those of you that are not from Toma don't know how funny that is, because Superior Avenue never has a traffic jam. And if you want to learn more about that, buy the subscription. Okay, but so I'm in the traffic jam and I'm sitting there and I pick up my phone and I start scrolling through and I see a post. And it's from somebody that I went to high school with years ago. Now, when we were in high school, we were really close friends. We knew each other. We had a great relationship. So many stories, so many things that happened. But since then, I don't think I've talked to him once in person, but I somehow feel like I'm connected to him still, because every couple days there's a post from him that pops up on my feed and shows me that he's still alive. So somehow I feel like I'm still connected to him. But something happened that really made me think about this. He had a post and it said something like, I want to congratulate you. You are a wonderful person. You light up every room you walk into. I'm so pleased to know you. Happy birthday, happy first birthday, Tucker. So I hit like, because that's what you do when you see something like that. And then it dawned on me, if Tucker's one, he probably doesn't have a Facebook account. And if he does, can he read? And if he can do that, we should probably do a show on that. But for now, it made me think, why was that post there then? Why did I read that? Because obviously Tucker can't read it, so it was for me. And it's not that it offended me, and I don't think there was any intent with the way that it was written, but it made me really think about how we communicate. That there used to be a time that we would talk to each other and we'd interact, and that interaction caused us to have relationship, but now those relationships feel so false, so fake. So that's one of the things that we're going to try to work on, is to communicate with people and get better that way. In just a moment, we're going to have our first interview with Pete Malinger from Hometown TV, and we'll be back in just a moment. So that was 4 minutes. Hi, welcome back. My first guest tonight is Peter Malinger with the Hometown TV Network. Pete, come on in. We have some questions for you. So, when we first thought about doing something like this, one of the questions I was asked first is, who would you like to interview? And what I thought was, well, why is this being done? And that would be a great way for us to get started. And being around you guys for the last couple of weeks and watching you prepare for this, the one thing that I saw more than anything is this is a labor of love that you have. Mm-hmm. That you really like what you do. My mom used to tell me, and I think most of our moms did, that if you really want to be happy in life, find something you like to do and get people to pay you for it. So I think you figured out the first part. Yeah. What are you going to do for the second part? How are you going to get paid for it?
Yeah, I know that's the hardest thing of all. Hard to get paid for stuff you love.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that you really changed formats as much as you enhanced your format.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Well, I wanted to make not to say that our news program wasn't watchable. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was watchable for the people that were on. It was interesting for that specific event. But I wanted to make something really broad and very watchable, very fun. One of the reasons why I got a hold of you is because I know you're a funny guy, and you can make something that maybe isn't so funny, and really bring light to interviews and just different things in life.
Well, thank you. That's very nice. As we move towards this new format, as we move towards this new project that you're going, what things can we expect in the next few weeks?
Well, we just had last week. We had the fashion show with Rebecca Giroux, and I think that really turned out great. And of course, this week we're doing Skeezicks. We're launching your part of it, and and then of course Craig Hoffman and Fitness Freaks. We're trying to create a very well-rounded lifestyle program that really showcases and celebrates what's great in our community, but then we want to expand out and go into other communities. A few weeks ago, we highlighted a restaurant down in Milwaukee. There's just a lot of opportunity to bring in different places. My hometown, yes, right now, hometown is Toma, but I mean, I was born and part of my life grew up in Milwaukee. And you have, no matter if it's a if you got a big town or small town, it's still your hometown, and you still have connections there. You know, we had almost like a little mini town in Milwaukee, and I know that you're from over there on the other side of the lake, right?
Yeah. Detroit, yeah. It's a little town over there. Now it really is a little town. So, for the last, how many years have you been doing this?
Hometown has been around now for just about 2 years. We launched the station Hometown Stream, so you can watch the programming on hometownstream.net. And we just switched over the first of the year, Hometown Life. Lifestyle program on Hometown Stream, broadcasting nationwide, and you know, we're starting something new, really.
So as you look at how you're going to monetize this, is this in the commercials that we see between the segments, or how does this become something that can sustain itself?
The thing that is unique about Hometown is that we're appealing to the end viewer. So if you like a program, like we have Kevin Weiner with Blue Pine Productions, Stevens Point launched his program, The Hobbyist, and you can see that at Hometown Stream.
I did see that.
Hobbyist.
Very good show.
Yep. And he's appealing to the people who like that type of programming, and so he's looking for monetization that way by you pay your subscription, and that money goes then to making more shows. And so if you like that type of programming, you say, well, I love that program. I'm going to help Kevin out. I want to see more programs, and so you join Hometown and you subscribe under his program and his subscription plan, and that's how we have a lot of different programming on there, a lot of different places. I mean, we got somebody from West Virginia who had a Navy SEAL documentary, Until It Hurts.
I think I was in that. They cut my part out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was. Well, it was a little embarrassing. I had my shirt off. A lot of people were.
A little Rambo moment there.
Yeah, go ahead, get that out of your head.
Yeah. I can't now.
right. It's like, so, in the next few months, we're going to see a lot of changes and a lot of opportunities for this type of communication to grow, and that's partly what excites me about this. I mean, sure, we can bring some fun into it, and we will. We got some plans for some pretty fun shows, but for now, I really wanted to get an understanding as to why you're doing this.
Well, years ago, I wanted to make my own film. And I knew that it was going to be to take up millions of dollars to make my own film. And I know there's production companies out there that wanted the same thing but couldn't. And so, you kind of get stuck in a rut. You're doing marketing videos, you're doing weddings or whatever just to make ends meet. And this is the opportunity for all those production companies like ourselves that would like to make a living at this and a good living at it, get on Hometown and make the productions that they've always wanted to, always dreamed to. And this is what it's about.
Sounds exciting. Pete, we just have a couple moments left. So what's new with you?
Well, I've been really contemplating something for the last probably month now, and I thought I would share it with you and share it with the rest of the city and the town and everything.
I feel like you're about to ask me to marry you.
There would be a
yeah.
Well, actually,
I can't afford me.
I'm announcing my candidacy to run for mayor of Toma.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. So what we need to schedule first is a psychiatric profile, right?
Yes, I know. It's a lot of hard work.
Well, I want to hear more about this. Thanks, Peter. So that wraps up the show for this week. Thank you for tuning into Hometown TV. We'll see you next week. I'm Jerry Fushianes for Skeezicks.